How'd it feel to be back out there day one?
It's exciting. The first day is always exciting. Obviously, you miss those last couple of games, and it's been a long road. But just being out here with my teammates again is probably the most fun I've ever had playing in a long time. And obviously, it's new system, new people coming. Obviously, it happens every year now in college football. But man, I'm super excited. And I'm blessed, honestly, just to be here. Regardless of what happened last year, like I'm super blessed to even be in this at this point in my life right now, and I'm just having fun with it right now. And obviously, I was joking with Cam about it, like kind of one of the older guys now. I made jokes about that with Cam and DJ about them being old, but now it's me. Everybody's calling me the old guy, so not really enjoying that, but I'm having fun with it, and it feels good to be back.
How has it been to work with all the new coaches?
It's definitely a big learning experience. Obviously, going from one system to another, and the drastic change of system is kind of something that never had to really do before, and especially in this system I never played. So it's definitely a learning curve that comes with it. But I mean, I believe in Coach White. I mean, I believe in the system. He has proof. Like everywhere he's been, it's worked. And I feel like with us, like because of the type of guys we have on the team, like we can really kind of take this thing a long way. And obviously with Coach JP taking over the linebackers, and obviously we still have Coach Sims. Like I believe in us and our side of the ball, and I'm super excited for where we're headed.
What kind of work goes? I'm sure a lot of work, but like to go and learn a new scheme. I'm sure you guys have put in a lot of hours into it. Like, you can detail like what exactly you've been doing.
Yeah, really, before you take it out on the field, you kind of have to know it like mentally, know it on paper first. It's kind of the easiest way. That's my process, at least. Being able to write it down, being able to draw it, being able to talk to somebody else about it. I think Steph is a really big help with us because he's played the system forever. Now he's somebody I can call old because he's been around for a little bit. But now Steph's been in the system for a while now, and he's kind of a resource to go to whenever we have like questions on the field. He knows it like the back of his hand, and so it's definitely, like I said, definitely a learning curve. But just knowing countless hours of film at home and just writing it down and kind of just studying it. It's kind of the only way you can go through it. And then when you go out there, you'll make your mistakes, but you'll make mistakes now, right, and get it over with before kind of we get rolling, put the pads on, and we start scrimmaging each other. And ultimately, we can take the field this fall. Like you make those mistakes now, so you get comfortable by the time the season rolls around.
I'm sure there's differences. What kind of stood out? Like maybe the biggest or some, yeah. What's been the biggest difference?
Yeah, just the I guess how versatile we are defensively. I could say that we never stay in the same spot. We're always moving around. We're always doing something different looks, presentation. That's a big thing, really. Our presentation defensively is always we're never staying in the same spot. We're like we look different every time. So no matter where we're coming from, whether it's from either side, like we're always trying to throw you off. We're always trying to like disguise something, and we're always coming the other way. So. That's the biggest thing. Probably the difference is like how we look, knowing where you're supposed to be at before the ball snaps, but also making sure you don't give it away. Is probably the biggest thing. Just knowing how to disguise some stuff and just be able to play free, be able to move around a little bit, and just ultimately just play fluid.
Did the structure of practice feel any different than a typical Florida State practice you had been around the last couple of years?
Minor differences, a little bit, but most of that is down to like formatting, how we do some certain stuff. But at the end of the day, headman still in charge, so still doing the same stuff, still harping on the same things, special teams, emphasis, stuff like that. So there's some minute details that are kind of different, but it's still Florida State football.
Was there any conversation at the beginning of practice of like, hey, this is a clean slate, guys? Like last season was last season. We're focused on 2025.
Yeah, all that talk's kind of in the past. Not really. We all know it. We all know. We're not naive. We all know what happened. But we're not really focused on us kind of growing. Right. This is, like I said, this is something new defensively, especially for the linebacker room, because this is everybody's first time in this linebacker room together. Right. Coach JP's first time. Our first time in the system. Seth's first time at Florida State. You have Ethan, the young guy. Like it's everybody's first time in this moment together. So the biggest thing right now is taking care of each other and going through this process together as we kind of just take the field and keep getting better day by day.
I know you're not even in pads yet, so it might be tough to answer. But since you're the old guy now, I'm going to ask you this question. Were there any new guys on either side of the ball that even in one practice kind of stood out and you're like, oh, okay, that's something to work with?
What I can say is Tamir Hickman-Collins, his maturity is something that I think is a real big improvement for him. He's always been a vocal guy. But his thing was always his confidence in himself, right? He sometimes didn't want to say it. He don't want to be wrong. And I can tell you, like from today, in the amount of reps he had, he was confident in himself, right? He was sometimes when he was wrong, like he made his voice loud enough to where everybody can hear him, and he played like a vet. Like he played like he knew what he was doing, and I'm proud of him. Ethan is his first time doing it. He's definitely has a long way to go, but at the same time, his like natural instincts that he has, you can't teach that. And I'm really super excited for what we have for him. And I think ultimately, like I don't want to say like we're all new in a sense. Like, this is our first time doing the system, so I feel like we're all picking it up pretty well. And the biggest thing we can do is kind of take care of each other and kind of help each other as we go along the journey.
When we spoke to Coach Norvell a little earlier, he was talking about Coach White's personality and kind of said, chill usually, but then there's a switch that he can flip. Have you kind of seen that firsthand?
Yeah, he brings that intensity, especially when some things don't go the way we want it to. Off the field and even during practice, he's usually a guy laid back, kind of get to the point type of guy. And his thing, he always preaches about the process, right? His thing is wherever we're in a meeting on the field, like knowing what that process is, and your process is different from mine, right? So whether that be pre-practice, during a play, stuff like that process is different for everybody, but just going through your process, and ultimately that process will take you through what you want to get accomplished for the day, right? Even each play, each practice, each day, really, even in class, stuff like that. We always talk about that process, and that's kind of the biggest thing I've learned from him is that process that he always preaches. But you'll hear him talk about it all the time, but that process is something that we kind of picked up off of.
You've been around him now for 2.5 months, but when you go back and look at his Nebraska teams, the Syracuse teams, even if they didn't have a ton of talent, they played really hard. How does he get that out of players, do you think? Again, you haven't played in a game for him yet, but you've been around him for 2.5 months. What is there something unique about him that gets his defenses to play so hard?
I mean, I feel like personally, like it's the I can say for myself, he's real confident in us, right? And from what I believe is that from personal experience, he believes that we can get it done right day one, right? And obviously, it's our first day doing it. We're still kind of learning, so we're gonna make our mistakes. But he talks to us not as if like we're just kind of, walking us through it. Like he tells us what we're doing, he expects us to know it, right? And that gives you the confidence to kind of go out there and play free because he feels like you can go out there and do it, and you can do it, right? If you didn't feel that way, then you wouldn't be in that spot. So he kind of breathes life into us whenever we're out there, and he always speaks positive. Whenever the mistakes are made, he'll correct it, but at the same time, he speaks confidence into us, and ultimately that's how I feel like. From a personal standpoint, that I feel like we can go out there and kind of just play hard and do what we do because his confidence in us allows us to go out there and just play confident.
And hard maybe wasn't even the word I was looking for. Maybe more like fast. Like how does he get these defenses? I assume it's almost the same answer. That's how he gets you guys to play fast.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. And ultimately, like we have a lot of freedom, really, in his defense. We're not. I said it earlier. We're not stuck in the same spot, right? We're always showing up different looks and kind of trying to just make it our own thing. And ultimately, some things I might do on the field might be different from some things that Omar may do on the field or Blake might do on the field, right? But that allows us to kind of play free and play confident because we're kind of playing with our own style, and it makes us us. So again, his confidence in us and ultimately the scheme allows us to go out there and play fast because he believes in us, and then ultimately we feel like we can go out there and kind of just play fluid and play without making mistakes. If that makes sense.
He said the other day when we were talking to Coach White that there's a chance like everyone will play a different position. Like you might try multiple linebacker spots. It's fun, challenging to kind of have to workload mentally to learn all those different ones.
Yeah, I can say I was a little hesitant at the very beginning. I kind of know. I like football, so I knew what Coach White ran before he got here. I know what type of linebackers he plays and what type of spots they were, and I was just a little hesitant, kind of feeling if I felt like I fit that mold, but. I just believed it. I trusted it. I prayed about it, and ultimately, I believe myself. So, and it's fun. It's been fun. We have Steph, who's kind of like again, he's a big resource. He knows the scheme, and I'm having fun with it. We're all playing different spots, playing on the ball, playing that Sam or that Jack position that everyone talks about, playing that spot on the ball, playing Mike, playing Willie. Everybody's rotating around. It's fun, super fun. Never played that spot before on the ball, but it's super fun. I'm learning, and we got to just keep getting better. But at the same time, that versatility makes you better as a player, right? You can't shy away from it, right? Because you can't be so stuck on, I want to play this, right? You ultimately, the more versatile you are, the better football player you are. So just embracing that and just having fun with it. And it's something that I feel like we can kind of keep growing as we go forward.